So I wanted to look into a piece of information that was brought to my attention in regards to DSI enhanced region locking. Now, there is a blog that has the most complete list that I'm at least aware of, and my interpretation of that blog is if it had an undetermined DSI enhancement, which was just marked by an ellipses, like this game for instance, this will just simply not boot on non matching region consoles. In this case, this is a US version of Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem, which is different from games like Pokemon Black or Pokemon White and Pokemon White 2, which only have DSI enhancements for their online features. I was under the impression that these game cards boot on other region consoles, but might have something to do with the online features. Maybe they can't access them or something happens. I haven't done it to these games since, from what I could understand from translators, they marry the online credentials to those saves, and I don't want to do that. But I did see that somebody was saying that they can't even boot these two games on their differing region consoles. That could be due to just the firmware version. Now, I just happen to have a lot of regioned consoles that are not American at my disposal. I think I have 6 right here. So this should give me a pretty good test bed to determine what exactly is going on based on version number. The PAL versions should behave very similarly to the LL consoles in regard to the differing of regions. So we're going to start with this guy. It's a green PAL DSI XL. Check the version number. 1.4.1e. So let me get a date on when that version released. I think that's been documented. Initial release. DSI firmware versions. Oh, here we go. I don't think they have a date on them, though. This is a rather interesting web page, but I'll have to save it for later. Oh, here we go. I think this might be it. No, not quite. Now it doesn't look like I can get any dates on these. So that is at least I can get sort of their relative version number. So 1.4.1e is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 updates off of the current, which is 1.4.5. So let's see how these 3 games behave. So I know this game is almost... I was under the impression this game will not show up on anything but US consoles. And it still doesn't. So we'll try Pokemon White. Pokemon White shows up. Pokemon White 2. White 2 shows up. And that's sort of in line with what I understood. Should boot. If it shows up, it's not going to kick me into an error screen. I understand the region locking to just not even show the cartridge once you put it in. So yeah, it's booting into White 2 just fine. Let me check. Let's move on to another console here. The White DSi LL. This is version 1.4.1J. I'll just confirm that. Which is of a similar software version to the PAL region console. So Mario vs. Donkey Kong shouldn't show up at all. It doesn't. Pokemon White. Took a second, but there it is. Pokemon White 2. And these are American versions. Yeah, it looks like White 2 is booting just fine. Moving right along, I got a Bronze DSi LL. I did not note the version number. Also, it's still almost dead from battery testing. This is 1.4J. This is a lowest version? No, there's apparently a... No, I think these are to encompass all DSi consoles. I'm pretty sure 1.4 is the lowest DSi XL version number, just based on when that console actually released. Let me get a charger in this thing so it doesn't die on me. So if there was any chance that Mario vs. Donkey Kong, for instance, were to bypass the region locking, it would be on this console. Which it still doesn't come up. Pokemon White. Pokemon White 2. Next is another DSi LL, Bronze console. I do not note the version number. Is another 1.4J, should see the exact same result. Nothing comes up for Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Pokemon White. Pokemon White 2. Green DSi LL. .4.4J, that will be the highest version I've tried so far, one off the current. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Nothing. Pokemon White. Pokemon White 2. And my last LL console, another white. Wow, that one has a really bad bottom screen. I'll have to swap that one out. It's another 1.4J. Pokemon White. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Pokemon White 2. So I don't have any DSIs assembled that have any lower version firmwares. Thinking if I want to see if I can find one. See if I can find one at a 1.0. Which maybe at best would mean I could play Mario vs. Donkey Kong on it without it being region locked. I think that game, it almost makes sense for that game to come out before. Miniland Mayhem came out in 2010, which is 2 years after the DSi XL came out, which if the base version of the XL firmware is still blocking Mario vs. Donkey Kong, I really wouldn't say if... Yeah, I don't know. My findings are still conclusive with what I understood. In that if there was an uncertain DSi enhancement, it's just going to block the card from running on any other region. And just to sort of dispel anything, here's a American Burgundy console. That this Mario Kart, or this Mario vs. Donkey Kong does work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the region locking too much myself, but it does line up with my current understanding.